Hello, you lovelies. Let's talk all about Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man episodes 1 and 2. If you're new to this page, I am obsessed with comic books. I love the comics themselves. I read about 50 to 70 comics a week, so if you love comics, hit that subscription bell. I also love movies and TV, both based on comics and in general, but especially in the world of comic books, this page hopefully is for you. We are rapidly approaching 50K, and when we hit 50, I'm going to do a 50 comic giveaway, so join in on the fun. Hit that subscription bell, hit the like on this video, especially if you want to know what I thought of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man. And my favorite part about YouTube, my favorite part about the internet is conversations amongst nerds. I love sharing the back of the comic store kind of conversation. Let's talk all about Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man episodes 1 and 2. Now in the future, if this video does well, I'm going to be doing them by episode. I'm doing this video as a part 1 and part 2 because I just got back home. I just filmed a full day of DC Studio Showcase, and now I want to bring this to you, but I don't have any time, so I'm bringing part 1 and 2 together. Without further ado, let's talk about this show, which I think is spectacular, amazing, sensational. It is so much of what I love about Spider-Man, but what I really love about this show is that it is the things that make it different that I love the most. It is pushing boundaries. It is trying new things, and it is still so true to the core of who Spider-Man is, and that's how it's able to do that. What I don't love necessarily about What If is that it doesn't feel like it really matters when things change, and none of the changes feel all that interesting. Like, there are good episodes of What If. I'm not crapping on the whole 3 seasons, but overall my feeling is like, okay, they changed that, and here you get to live the and. In a comic book, a What If, or a multiversal experience, like an Earth 2, or a Superman Red Sun, or, a Spider-Man 2099, that's a bad example, that's just going in the future, but alternate versions of characters like Spider-Man versus Ultimate Spider-Man versus the new 2020 Ultimate Spider-Man. The fun is in subverting expectations. As a ride-or-die learn-to-read with Spider-Man fan, it's nice to watch a show and not know everything that's coming. So I really love that Lonnie Lincoln, who turns out to be Tombstone, is a friend, and he's friendly, and his dad, who I expected to maybe be Tombstone, is just a dude, a friendly guy. I love that he's closer and vibes more with the guys that play sports than necessarily the nerds. I love that you get an exact play-by-play setup of Spider-Man Homecoming, down to the music cues, the framing they use, the car moment, the selfie, all of that, which followed the actual video of Spider-Man catching that van leading up to hitting the bus going by. That shot, which is in the MCU, all of that perfectly sets up a Tony Stark reveal, and we even had an Iron Man, car bomb. But instead of that, it is, what if that was Norman Osborn? What if it was a less philanthropic billionaire playboy? I love the use of Norman Osborn in that moment, because that completely exemplifies, what if we do this and surprise you, but how would that affect the character? How would that evolve the character? How would that change things? What if Uncle Ben isn't his responsibility? What if Uncle Ben died separate of him being Spider-Man? I also really love that we have a villain like Butane, which is the Shocker-ish, and that he defeats the Shocker-ish guy by doing stuff like he did in the Steve Ditko Stan Lee era of comics that this is clearly replicating. He uses his environment like Spider-Man does. He uses science. It felt like the Sandman fight in Amazing Spider-Man #4 way back in 1963, and all of that while being new and inventive and modern, and the music is modern, and the sensibilities are modern, and the school feels like it's a 2024-5 school for geniuses. The New York feels like today's New York, and I love the music cues. Like, you can tell what neighborhoods are in by the music going by. You can tell what's going on in the neighborhood by the sense of culture and community, and that's what New York feels like, and I love that. I also personally really love that scene with him and the girl at the pizza shop. That is such a beautiful Spider-Man moment. That felt so much like those down-to-earth friendly neighborhood moments that you still don't see in enough mediums. I loved that the Penguin was able to make you see that Gotham isn't just the rich. We actually lived with the poor and lived alongside people in lower income, but they didn't villainize everyone in lower income. So many times in all mediums, in all genres, if someone doesn't have money, they become a villain in a lot of stories, and that's not the situation. And this girl, down in her luck, did a crime, absolutely, but he realized he could maybe stop this and not put her into the system that doesn't always work out for people, that often doesn't. He stopped this pattern, hopefully, and maybe he didn't, but maybe he did, and what a beautiful moment, and with the permission of the pizza man himself, and then the free pizza, like, oh, that's so Spider-Man and so beautiful. Again, to make it, again, a parallel to how this is exciting, it's an already established world, like I think we're getting with Superman. It also reminded me of that scene in All-Star Superman where he saves that goth girl from jumping. Like, This is hero stuff, and it feels so big and important, but also so small and friendly neighborhood. I really personally love that we're getting so many different dynamics and friend groups. I thought, be bothered by Nico as the stand-in for, a best friend or a Genki or a Harry. Instead, we meet Harry, but he's not like integral. We see him briefly at like a red carpet, we meet him, but like we're playing with expectations, even with Nico. Nico Minori might not ever get the staff and become the Runaways character we know and love. We might see something evolve differently with even the female love interests that we haven't yet met, or maybe that changes. It's not beholden to anything, and that is so fun and so exciting. Now, the animation style for me took a little bit to get used to. It is like a 3D rendered to be 2D kind of situation. It is kind of jarring, but it does evoke early Steve Ditko. It does evoke the Untold Tales of Spider-Man artists. I think his name was like Avali not Lee Weeks, but it reminds me of Lee Weeks. It reminds me of I forget the name of the artist, but the Untold Tales of Spider-Man, Pat Olive, P-A-T-O-L-I-F-E, I believe is the artist's name. The Untold Tales of Spider-Man artist reminded me of Ditko, and that all blends into this world and this style, and I think it's visually very interesting once you kind of adjust to these sensibilities. I like the animation style more than I like some other modern animation that is compressing 3D into 2D. I really like that he's balancing his Parker luck, and I'm just as invested in his Spider-Man fights as I am his school hijinks, as I am his internship. And the biggest twist of all, and I saved this for the end of the video, this is going to be a full spoiler for episode 2. My favorite thing about subverting expectation and doing a left when you could go right, and by playing with things like the Norman Osborn introduction, or, butane being different, or any number of things that we could have seen the traditional Spider-Man path go. I love that Norman Osborn finds out he's Spider-Man in the episode 2. We are jumping into this show so aggressively, so quickly, and it doesn't feel rushed. These 30-minute episodes feel like we're actually getting to live with these characters. We care more about Lonnie Lincoln than we've gotten to really live with Harry Osborn in years. We care more about Nico than we've really gotten to get to know Genki. And it's 2 episodes in. I love that we're really getting to know these characters. We're really getting the friendly neighborhood aspect, and we're really getting the heart of Spider-Man, even with all the changes. And it's because of all the changes, it feels new and fresh and exciting. I hate that the show took so long to come out. I feel like a few years ago it would have been this huge push. I hope people discover it. I hope it finds its audience. It is so quintessentially Spider-Man while still playing around and not being so stuck in one thing. And I think that's the power of a multiverse. This isn't Spider-Man canon in a comic book, nor is it Spider-Man canon in the MCU, nor is it anything you have to have the immediate, like, oh no, how does that change things? It doesn't, except for in this universe, but it does have consequences in this universe, and that's really funny to watch long form. It apparently gets 3 seasons, already greenlit, so we get to dive into this show for some time to come. And as I said at the top, if you dig this video, please like and subscribe, and also leave a comment. I will be splitting up episodes 3, 4, and 5 if this video does well enough to make sense to do all that filming. If not, I still will be recording them as blocks and going forward like that. But I wanted to definitely make sure that I got this out ASAP. And back to you, lovelies. Really, really enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you like the changes? Do you like the female Connors? Do you like Butane versus Shocker? Do you like the Norman Osborn in the Aunt May interaction versus Tony Stark, and like what that's doing to things? What a cool way to multiverse. What a cool way to world build. What a cool way to have a Spider-Man story that we haven't seen before that still feels so quintessentially Spidey. Loved it. Had a great time with it. I don't, it's too early to put it in the category of like, those great animated shows in the 90s, but it's definitely in that direction of like what I love about Saturday morning cartoons. And I hope you felt the same. Really had a great time. I hope you are doing awesome. It's good to be back giving you guys live content. I just finished a bunch of those Blu-ray videos, which don't do as well, but I like having stuff up while I'm away. So if you want to check out my Blu-ray collection, I speed review by letter A, B, C, D, E, and F just went up. So if you want to check those out, I just did like Fight Club and the Fast and the Furious movies and The Incredible The Faculty, which nobody talks about enough. So that's over there. And then this weekend, I'll probably be doing a companion review, Jack Quaid's new movie. That's going to be dropping on Friday. And then we're going to be on to this week to week. So stay tuned for all that. Hit that subscription bell. Leave a comment below. It's good to see you, lovelies. And Real Rejects reaction is up right now if you're seeing this video. So check out my full live reaction over at Real Rejects, where I'm filming using their lights. So much love. I'll see you guys soon.